My biggest challenge is not having my tribe. I miss my tribe. My family, my friends, they're my tribe, and I don't have that.
What was the transition between there and here now, it being a year?
My kids, they transitioned within a day. They just fit in. I think it was just hard for me as a parent to find my own space. You have to learn to adapt. Things we do for the kids.
What are the other challenges during this break?
Just to get them out of the house
Yeah.
and getting everything started was really difficult.
Yeah.
But second day onwards, it was like clockwork. Kids are very adaptable and kids are very resilient. If you choose things, curate things that they like, they're going to just adapt to it and they'll love it.
Because you have your routines, school, home, everything out of the box. How are we going to handle that now?
In Canada, our lives are very much scheduled, routine, basketball, painting, this, skating. Everything is scheduled in. We did not want them to grow up like a cookie cutter parenting.
Screens aren't working. What would you do with your kids?
The best thing we have done to get away from screen time is to move to Dar es Salaam. I think that's the best thing that has happened to them. And for me, because I just kind of shoo them out of the house. I'm also giving them a lot of free time because I think they deserve it. Bored?
Yeah.
I really don't encourage that word in my house. It's a trigger for me. Every time they are bored, jokes apart, they will come up with the best things. They will write comics, like a whole storyline. That's exactly what I want out of their boredom. Any kind of screen, for me, is that big pink bad elephant sitting in the room. I absolutely detest my kids on their screens. My middle son, he was maybe 2 years old, but we were reading a book and he was trying to swipe the page. That kind of tells you.
Actual swipe the
Yes, and on an iPad. So that it's cute, but it's so scary for me. Regardless of the great content that they might be watching on screens, if they watch too much, my kids change. As individuals, I can see them becoming little monsters.
How have you been dealing with your kids?
So it's hard, but I think the best thing we have done.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, Natalia.
How are you?
I'm good in here.
We're doing a podcast.
That's crazy. Never in my whole entire life I would thought of doing a podcast.
You've got the jitters.
I'm going to think I'm joking with it.
I'm glad I'm doing this with you, though. We've done our little thing together before.
Exactly.
Guys, you got this.
Welcome to the very first episode of Blooming Conversations, a Maple Bloom podcast where we explore how children grow, learn, and thrive, both at school and at home. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Natalia. We're both teachers here at Maple Bloom.
This is a warm and thoughtful space where we talk honestly about parenting, learning, emotions, routines, friendships, and all the small moments that shape a child's world. So today we want to talk about what children need during a break and how we can support their growth academically, emotionally, and socially without pressure.
Before we dive in, we'd love to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube or listening to anywhere you get your podcast, drop us a comment. To unpack this topic much deeper, we've invited a parent, part of our community. Hi, Mariam.
Hi, thank
How
you
are
for
you?
having me.
We're so excited to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Okay. So my name is Mariam Yusuf Ali. I have 3 kids. The ages, they range from 6 to 11.
You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
For a mom of 3.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm a mom of 3, and I've lived most of my formative life in Canada. So we just moved from Canada to Dar es Salaam about a year ago, just over a year ago now. And it's been a huge change.
Yeah.
It's been a major change for my entire family, more so for me.
Yeah.
But we're settling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the transition between there and here now, it being a year?
To answer it very honestly, I think my kids, they transitioned within a day.
Yeah.
They just fit in, they found their little spaces, and they just evolved with the environment and with the people and with the language and everything. It was beautiful to see. My husband is originally from Dar es Salaam, so he knows the language, he knows the people. So for him, it wasn't a matter of fitting in. I think it was just hard for me as a parent, as a person, to find my own space. But I think I've made some headway in the last few months, so I feel better.
So, what has been your biggest challenge this year?
My biggest challenge is not having my tribe.
Your tribe.
I miss my tribe. Yes.
That's deep.
I think that's a major thing that I'm missing in my life. Everything else kind of falls into place, but my family, my friends, they're my tribe, and I don't have that, and I won't have that in the near future. So, you have to learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Things we do for the kids.
Yeah.
And with kids.
Yes.
What are the other challenges, as you say, challenges during this break with the kids?
So with the kids, so myself and my husband, we parent a little bit differently, okay, from other parents in Canada. Okay, in Canada, our lives are very much scheduled, routine. Basketball, painting, this, skating, everything is scheduled in, and you don't miss anything. You make everything happen. Whereas we wanted a different life for our kids, which is why we decided to make this big move to Dar es Salaam, because my husband's lived in Canada over 20 years as well. So it was a big move for him as well. So we decided to make this move to Dar es Salaam because we wanted to give our kids an exposure that we had as children.
Okay.
We did not want them to grow up like a cookie cutter parenting that we were into in Canada. So we wanted something different. So we made the jump. We landed in Dar es Salaam. And I think it's working. We have a different vision. So we work with that vision essentially.
And if you're looking into it now, we're going into our school break.
Yes.
How are we going to handle that now? Because you have your routines, school, home, everything out of the box. But now.
So my kids, all three of them, I really wish one of them was like me. I'm more scheduled and routine. I'm an accountant by profession, so I am very much into routines and schedules, and I like things in its corner and organized and everything, right? None of my kids are like that. They've all grown up to be very different individuals, and I like to raise them in their own individuality. Sometimes it works, most times I fail, but that's just how we all evolve, including my kids as well. So now that the summer break, it's so weird to call this summer, but now that
we're in Tanzania,
it's snowing. It is snowing cats and dogs in Canada right now. Okay, it's so weird for me.
It's
but
getting 5 degrees hotter here every minute.
That's insane for me.
So how is it having a summer Christmas?
I cannot get used to this. I need the snow. I'm sorry. So basically, this going into the summer holidays, I've basically enrolled my kids into a few routine, classes, camps and stuff, like swim camp. There's a woodworking camp. Next week, my eldest, who's really into AI and stuff like that, he's going into an AI camp. So we're doing a few hours a day of different scheduled classes that they are interested in, that they don't necessarily get exposure in school. So we're doing those. And I'm also giving them a lot of free time because I think they deserve it. They work hard. Yeah, they work hard. Yeah.
So in school, we are very routine orientated.
Yes.
So breakfast.
And I love that. Yes.
So how do the kids not deal with that at home? You as a parent, how are they? Are they fine? They adapt easily into going into the summer camps?
Yeah. I think the first day of their summer camp was so chaotic. It was pure hell.
Yeah.
Because just to get them out of the house and getting everything started was really difficult. Getting them in the zone.
Yeah.
But second day onwards, it was like clockwork. And I haven't had a single phone call. I work, so I haven't had a single phone call of panic, by my dada or my mother-in-law. Nobody. That they're not leaving, they're not doing this. So it kind of. I think kids are very adaptable, and kids are very resilient, and if they don't want to do something, they will not do it, no matter how much you force them to do it. But if you curate things that they like, they're going to just adapt to it, and they love it.
That's right. I agree. Actually, in school, I feel like in school environments, the kids need to have the gaps in breaks
Yeah.
in between.
Exactly.
If they have to non-stop the class,
Yeah.
they're gonna get over it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
going to learn.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like schools need to implement that more.
I
Yeah.
agree.
More fun, more creativity.
Yeah.
Hands-on things.
More
Yeah.
play-based.
Exactly.
More play-based. So just my experience from Canada, from schools in Canada. Schools in Canada, the public school system is has adapted to a play-based
Right.
educational system.
Right.
I came from a very book-based, like, very
academic,
very
yeah.
academic. So it was very hard for me to adapt my kids to that because I wanted them to be academic too. That's the mindset you come from. But I can see the benefits behind it. So like I wish there was something which was exactly what you said, like something midway, a balance which is play-based and academic, and that would be my heaven. That's where I would want my kids to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like meeting in the middle,
Yeah.
trying to, make sure you get best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Because I mean, kids learn differently, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But we're trying to, especially with having a different routine.
Right.
At school, we're like, just what, Stephanie said.
Right.
Get in the morning, they know it's breakfast time, they know this is the time for snack.
Right,
And
right.
they look more forward to eating. Which, hey, I mean, we all love food, but
lunch?
when it's lunch, and I don't blame them. Yeah. So it actually, you really need that balance, even if you're not at school, when you're outside trying to, learn life a different way, trying to learn something a different way,
Right.
in a more fun manner.
Yeah.
I totally agree with what you're doing. And I hope they're having fun. And
As I
how
said,
old is your son?
my eldest
Yeah.
is 11. He just turned 11.
And he's going for AI.
He's, right?
That is great.
That blows my mind. He just
We
did a
didn't have that
presentation.
back then.
He just did a presentation on AI and the benefits and the harm of AI yesterday. And it blew my mind that this child of mine that, I think is like so crazy is doing something so sophisticated.
Yeah.
Right? At the childlike level.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
Can you like what has he told you, like what he's been doing in the AI camp?
So at the AI camp over there, they are basically learning how to utilize AI and how to feed information into AI to get the output that they want. And then they get that output and then they are feeding it into 3D printers and then creating whatever product that they're looking for. So like, the one thing that he created was a keychain, and then he created a lamp, small things, but like, I love it. Like, this is exactly what I want for him, right? So yeah.
AI is scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
in a way. Like I feel sometimes people's like want to lose their jobs.
I think that is so scary, but I feel like, it's going to happen anyways. Might as well use it to create more jobs, to create more like creativity. Like, that's where, because AI cannot be creative. AI can only give you what you want.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So to go back to our conversation, how old is your youngest?
My youngest daughter, she is 6. She just turned 6 in
Turned
September.
6.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She's
As I
tiny.
said, you look really good.
Oh, thanks.
With her routine, so basically right now, their routine, as we know as teachers here, are so based off of being around their friends. How do they cope with not being able to actually do the certain routines that they're used to with their friends?
So-
okay, they're home, mom is home, dad's home, but I'm so used to playing with,
Yeah.
one of my friends are playing dolls at this hour after snack. Is she, coping really well on that?
So as I said earlier, like, myself and my husband, we have a very different way of parenting.
Yeah.
We have tried to move away from the helicopter parenting, which is what I'm accustomed to in Canada. So over here, we have tried to be very almost the opposite end. So my daughter, for example, she's only 6, right? But when she's at home, of course, like, she gets up, has a breakfast and everything. But then she has her friends all around our neighborhood.
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
all of those friends, they come and call her to come and play with them, or she goes to their house and to go play with them. So this happens on a constant. It happens too much in my opinion, but it does happen a lot. So she's constantly stimulated by her friends in a way that at an extent where I don't even have to play with her as much.
Yeah.
That only happens when on a Sunday, for example.
Right.
But on a daily basis, right now, this is her first week of holiday.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's been. They've been skating downstairs. They've been bicycling. They've been doing different things, and it works. That's exactly what I want. I want them to be social beings. I want them to be doing things rather than watching.
Right.
So yeah.
So screen time has become quite a big thing in the last few years.
Yeah.
I think that has become a comfortable thing for parents to use. It's just go out to a restaurant or wherever. Let me entertain my child. Screen time. I don't know how have you been doing that with your kids? Like, do you have
That's a great question. That's a great question. So the any kind of screen for me is that big pink bad elephant sitting in the room, and I like elephants, okay? But this is a bad one because I absolutely detest my kids on their screens. And, I'm not going to lie, of course they use screens, okay? But we do have limitations on it. First of all, I don't allow YouTube, no social media. I myself am not on social media because of that reason, because I don't want to influence them to be on it.
That's very
But I'm used to it now, but it was hard before.
Yeah.
But at home, in terms of boundaries, there is limitations on the time limits that they're allowed. And then when I get really upset about the amount of time that they've been on a screen, I go turn off the Wi-Fi and everything shuts off.
Well,
And it works.
love that.
I must love that.
Well, now they're starting to figure out how to turn everything back on because
they're at that
they're
age.
smart.
They
Kids are way
see.
smarter than I am.
They see.
Yeah. But I do wish that I could do something more extreme in terms of cutting out screen time because, yes, we can use screens and TV in an educational way, but I tend to use it, and myself and my husband, both of us, we tend to use it as a time out when we need it, because we also need time out sometimes. And it's a instant time out that you get. You turn the TV on, and everybody just kind of goes like a bee to honey.
Yeah.
So it's silence. It's beautiful. But there's a limit to it as well, right? So we have implemented time limits on the RPS.
Yeah.
My absolutely gorgeous, beautiful father decided to gift my kids a PS5 because we were leaving Canada.
Wow.
That is, I'm so upset. I am so upset.
Well, you can't do anything about it.
But it was a gift of love, and because he knew my kids wanted one.
Right.
Until then, we didn't really have anything like that. We didn't have a Nintendo, nothing.
No.
And I liked it like that. It was intentional.
Yeah.
But we have time limits on TV. We have time limits on PS. We have time limits on everything. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't work when their friends come over and they want to play, and then it becomes like a whole friend thing. And I don't want to take that experience away from them either. So it's hard. But I think the best thing we have done to get away from screen time is to move to Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
Because over here, there is more freedom for them to just go to Gymkhana, to go to their friends' houses. It's less regimented or less looked down upon in society for my kids to just go and knock on somebody's door. Hey, do you want to play? You know what I mean? It's not like in Canada, it's a lot more polite of a society, I guess. You follow rules. You don't just show up at somebody's places and stuff. So I think that's the best thing that has happened to them and for me, because I just kind of shoo them out of the house and go find your thing to do right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Safety-wise, is it more safe here for the kids to just come more? Do you feel more comfortable then just to go to their friends and play?
Well, we have our nanny at home, so my nanny usually accompanies the younger ones.
Okay.
But my eldest, who's 11, he is he's so he has certain skills as well. He has picked up the language a lot faster than all of us combined. So he is able to get around like the area that we live in on his bicycle. He is very good with talking to Bajajis and like, negotiating and everything. Like he really, he terrifies me. He terrifies me. He's one to like, keep an eye on, but it has allowed him the freedom to grow that I would have never allowed in Canada.
That is very true.
And that's the difference between the education and the society over here and over there that I have experienced so far. And I don't know what it's going to be like in the future.
Yeah. And with relating with growth, I think we can attest as teachers here, screen time.
Yeah.
It's really hard having to cope with children who are so stuck to the screen.
Right.
It's brain rot.
Right.
That's what we call binge watching. That's what we call brain rot. That's what we call just a coma to the screen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us as teachers, we have experienced children who are so used to having their eyes just looking at the screen.
Yeah.
They even know what to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't even have to teach
Like
them.
little babies.
It's so
I know.
scary.
I know.
Like no more than us.
Yeah. And we end up just sitting there like, oh dear,
My middle son, like he was maybe 2 years old, but we were reading a book and he was trying to swipe the page. Like, that kind of tells
Like
you.
actual swipe the
Yes, like and on an iPad. Like,
Oh, dear.
so that it's cute, but it's so scary for me. Like, that little kids are being wired a certain way because of the screen time that they're getting.
Exactly.
So I'm very cognizant.
Yeah. I mean, we also want them to see more colors compared to what they see on their
absolutely.
screen. So how we transition it as teachers, we try our best. Okay, parents at home are like, oh, they use the screen, we want them off of it. And then when they come here, they have that, they're like, oh, we can't use the screen here.
Yeah.
So, Steph, what would you do if you had a brand new kid in school? I mean, we've had that before. What was the first thing you did?
That's attached to
To
screen
screen,
time.
yeah.
Well, we had to limit screen time.
Yeah.
We actually, the rule is to limit screen time. So we just have to find different ways for them to interact, be hands-on, do hands-on activities, do some crafts and things like that. Because if we use the screen time, the parents anyway is going to complain a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes as teachers, like, I'm guilty of that. We have used the screen to put it on and to get silence.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it works. Because it works, right? It works. Yeah.
We tend to be like, hey, what about this nursery rhyme?
Yeah.
Let's play it, and then we end up realizing,
Yeah.
Try not to get too used to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is very
So
true.
most important is to get the kids going and busy, be hands-on, do a craft and things to distract them.
Yeah.
So,
Because without it, boredom comes through.
Yeah.
With boredom comes chaos in the house, not just at home, but at school too.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't want to do this. I'm too bored. And
So
then
how do you deal with that?
So what we have a thing called teeny tantrums,
Okay.
where it ranges from the toddlers to foundation.
Okay.
The 4-year-olds too.
Yeah.
Well, with the 4-year-olds, they talk more compared to the little tots.
Right.
So what they do is they would, create havoc in class. And that havoc for us meaning running in circles.
Right.
Running in circles. And we as teachers are like, oh, you're gonna fall, walking feet. But then we realize that what causes that, what triggers that is actually the fact that they're bored.
Yeah.
They're bored of the same setting. They're bored of,
Same activities.
Same activities.
Yeah.
They're bored with the same, group of, like, the toys they have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what we do as teachers is, hence why we have our outdoors, we have our jungle gym.
Right.
We let them take their energy out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we give them the upper hand to be like, you know what? You're bored. What should we do?
Yeah.
Give us ideas,
Right.
Tell us what you want to do. You want to paint? What do you want to paint? You want to paint your feet? Let's paint your feet,
Yeah.
just to keep them going.
Right.
Because the norm in any society, especially now, we're so open-minded.
Yeah.
The norm is like, you will follow what we're doing. But kids have a brain of their own.
Yeah.
They're bored. We can't tell them to sit down and read a book.
Right.
And we definitely can't give them screen time. So you're bored. What do you want to do? We give them that upper hand.
Yeah.
So that's how we navigate it.
I was thinking this in my head,
Yeah.
and I wanted to ask you guys as teachers at Maple Bloom.
Of course.
I recognize my kids being very different personalities in 3 different bodies, right? And they're very different.
Yeah.
You guys have a class full of different personalities. How are you guys managing? Like, do you cater to each personality to help them grow? Because that's what I would want in my kid's teacher. Somebody who, understands that this guy needs more, than, because otherwise he'll be the one running around in the class. Because I've heard that about my son before. So, how do you guys manage that?
Well, Mariam, if I tell you, we're superheroes. I can't really identify. I can't. My identity.
I agree. I would never be able to do a teacher's job. I would never want to do a teaching job. I bow down to you guys.
I don't know. It just obviously it takes when you get the little new. I call them also my little superheroes.
Yeah.
So when they first start class, it's a bit of you adapt a bit, but you get to learn, get to know each individual.
Right.
And it literally takes a few days, and then you literally almost figure it out, each and everyone's little character.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you just adapt around it.
Yeah.
How we do it, sometimes I just know.
It just happens.
Yeah.
And I think because the fact that, as what Stephanie said, we actually take our time and observe. We don't actually cater to what we want them to cater with us.
Right.
We cater with their needs. We listen to them. We just sit there sometimes at the side and listen to their conversations. Like, oh, he actually likes blue. So it's more of a learning journey for us with them. They're in school to learn, but we're learning through them.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I was have a few students in class. This is something I've always done.
Yeah.
They like to write little letters to their mommies. It comforts them.
Yeah.
So I always have I love a sticky note.
Yeah.
So I always have a ton of sticky notes.
Same.
We love a sticky note.
So if they have a bad day or so, I will. It's like, do you want a sticky note? And let's write a letter to me.
Oh, I love that. I love that. My kids write me letters all the time. Yeah. I love that.
Individually, you'll know what they need, to comfort them. And
Right.
Get through the day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because we do throw a lot at the kids at a very young age, just because how our society is, right?
Yeah.
So they are trying to play a lot of catch up with our expectations, right? So yeah.
Which end of the day, children aren't really supposed to be forced or pressured into that expectation.
Exactly.
It's supposed to come naturally with them. Hey, we survived.
Exactly.
We survived.
Exactly.
It's a matter of how
Screen time.
we didn't have screen time. I was told to go outside and make
Same.
porridge using sand.
Exactly.
And we're trying to implement it here. And
Oh, I love that. It's all about being back to the basics, I love that. I
Running
love
around
that.
getting scrapes on your knees.
And that's why I love the chickens over here at Maple Bloom. I just saw them. I love the
chickens.
chickens.
We have our fan favorite, the bunnies. Hey.
Oh,
We have cute
so
little bunnies
cute.
now, and the
So
kids
cute.
love it.
Yeah,
It's a fan favorite. It's a comfort for us,
I love
too.
it. I love it.
Bunnies when I started in elementary. I don't know.
They put in a pool instead. I know.
Maybe we can get a chicken.
Chickens are going to be everywhere. We've all seen how amazing we can actually track between, screen time and how, as children, how can we see that they're bored with your kids or just as an adult. You're home, let's say you're just bored out of your mind.
Yeah.
Screens aren't working, for example.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do with your kids to navigate through that?
When I'm at home on any given day, I will at least hear it once or twice that, oh, Mom, I'm bored. That happens. That happens quite often. And I've just never had the, I don't know, call it patience, call it, I just don't have it in me to deal with the boredom part because there is so much to do. And I just encourage them to explore all the things around them, the millions of toys around them. They're very, blessed kids.
Yeah.
So I want them to explore that. And at the end of the day, every time they are bored, I like, jokes apart, they will come up with the best things. Like my son, both of them, they will write comics. They will make comics, like a book full of comics. Yeah. Like a whole storyline with pictures, just like a regular Archie's comics, right? And I think that's exactly what I want out of their boredom. So
creativity.
I really don't encourage that word in my house. It's a trigger for me. So yeah.
Also, like fun in the kitchen,
Yeah.
Start cooking.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time. Yeah.
Kids love that.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to raise my sons, especially in a more balanced way, and not like other men in this society have been raised, maybe. And I encourage them in the kitchen all the time. I make them make salads. I make them make whatever. And sometimes they do it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's more work for me. But I want them to take something out of that and implement it in their older life when they're older.
I mean, end of the day, they're going to be like, oh, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. And it's an activity.
Yeah.
It's something to do.
It is.
I don't know. It's an easy thing to do.
You learn through it all.
Yeah. Now they can set the table without me prompting them. I love it. Yeah.
Good for you, Mom.
I try. I've got the best of both worlds, so I try.
Well, what do you notice more about kids of today? We've got new trends. We've got, especially with Steph, what do you want to add on to screens? What do you think affects us more?
Things I've noticed with going out with friends that's already got kids already, going to a restaurant or a barbecue. The kids will sit there on mommy's phone. They wouldn't even have the decency to get up and greet you, for example. They're so in touch, and kids are losing that personality, that how do you say?
That human touch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How to talk to an adult, for example. That's important for me, that the kids around also communicate with the adults around, and not just that, with the other kids. So that is something on screen time, social media.
I know. Yeah.
In a way, I'm against it. So I always say when I have kids one day, I'm like, I'm going to be so anti regarding that. But I don't know. Maybe I see when I have kids, I'm just like, oh no, it's just easy to keep the fun. But
I mean, also it transitions, because at school they actually do hold conversations with others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there are kids either their age, who are they actually relate to conversations that they're having.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes kids would, as she said, drift apart from actually wanting to, not like us. We would actually get up and greet, someone, hold conversations, even if it doesn't relate to what we want to talk about.
Right.
At least we pitch in. And at this moment, without with screens, kids don't even acknowledge that. At school is different though, because they have conversations. They know what to talk about. Their creativity and pretend play they dive into role play so bad.
Yeah.
The role play is madness. They would have an outfit, let's say Spider-Man. They would be superheroes, and they would come up with their own scripts and actually make a movie out of just that outfit. But when they go home, and let's say they don't have a person with the same age group, at the same age group, and they want to go talk to a person, and they're like, what are you talking about? So they drift away, and their confidence just drop.
That's what I mean. Put it in a way.
Yeah.
If they're lucky enough to have that sibling or parent at home that can also do some role play.
Yeah, engaging, a lot of engagement. Yeah. So it's more so if you notice it at home too, how the conversations are.
I definitely know. So I relate to everything you guys just said.
Of course.
The fact that, parents give their phones to the kids.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier, they're quieter, you can have a conversation, you can have an adult time. And if you don't give it to them, they'll be running around and then you'll get upset and blah, blah. Right? So it's a comfort thing. So I feel like I have gone through all of it. And our conclusion years ago was that we're not going to give our phones. If they embarrass us, they embarrass us. If people don't like it, we won't go until they grow out of it. And that was just our. That's what we decided to do. Also, we had new phones. We didn't want to give our new phones to the kids, so we were being selfish.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have 3 kids of different ages. 2 of them are closer to each other than my eldest one. So when my boys are role playing, their role play is they imitate what they play on PS.
Okay.
They imitate the shows, it's all fighting and it's all that's what their storylines are all about. And now my eldest doesn't role play anymore as such. I think he stopped about a year ago, maybe. But when my middle son, who is 7, and my daughter, who just turned 6, when they role play, it's the best role play you will ever see. It's literally about life, and they are just whatever stories they come up with. It's all improvising. It's all. They're playing with the doll houses. They're playing with the dolls. He brings his Superman and somebody's saving something. It's a whole script that they come up with. And I think that's the beauty of boredom. That's the beauty of not giving them screens, because then their brains don't work. Their brains just shut off.
Yeah,
right?
you can see the conversation that they're having.
And
I build.
Exactly. And I agree. I can see in my own kids that a lot of their role play comes from what they watch as well. But we have to kind of parent what they watch so that the output is not terrifying. Right. So so there has to be controls in each of those things. And I think it's, at least I can only speak for my life. I think it is not realistic to say that I can cut out screens completely. I cannot do that. But I think if we put parental controls, and if we decide what kind of content they are allowed to watch, which is sometimes successful and sometimes it's not, I think you can control the negativity that they get out of it.
That is true.
But I do agree, regardless of the great content that they might be watching on screens, if they watch too much, my kids change as individuals. There, I can see them becoming little monsters. So, and I can see that, if a child is being given a lot of screen at home, what they would be like at school. I empathize with your jobs, because that cannot be easy, right? That cannot be easy to deal with.
Because the thing is, you might limit screen time, but the other parents that's in their class, maybe not. And they might be exposed to social media.
But then they're expecting you to limit it too, which is hard for that child.
And learning, getting to hear about these things from the friends, and then it's I mean,
what thing, Steph?
The thing is going around.
6, 7.
6, 7.
What is that? What is that?
Come on. I don't even know what that
I've never heard of
is.
this before.
I thought it was part of a song, but then it's just 2 numbers.
My son yesterday at mealtime, he said something like 6, 7 is a bad word.
Really?
And I don't know what that means. And
we need to
research.
But I don't know. I don't know if it is or not, and I don't know where he was getting his information from. But that's what he said. So it's something to look into.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because one of the students in my class, he's 4 years old.
Yeah.
He was saying 6, 7, 6, 7 the whole time in class. I'm like, what is this?
Like, what is this? Are we learning numbers?
I haven't done research.
No, we need
How
to.
scary is it that they know more than we do?
They get easily influenced. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I think because we're so busy with our lives, you're a
100%,
working mom.
100%.
Superhero to that, mom. You're a working mom, juggling 3 kids.
I'll say one thing, that the only time that I haven't worked is during my mat leaves, my maternity leaves, and my first year in Tanzania. I hated all of those leaves. I have identified that I am one of those individuals who need something of my own. And I think work is the easiest way to get something of my own. So I really enjoy working. I really enjoy working, and I need a little bit of everything. I cannot just be a full-time mom. It gets to me.
I honestly don't know how moms are full-time housewife.
It's hard. It's hard. That's the hardest job after yours.
And I think one of the questions I was actually asked by one of our moms, they have one child at home, and they're like, how do you handle my son without screen time, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I observe your child.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, I am observing your child. Very creative, loves to make stories. How do we bring that to his, his little world? How do we bring it to life?
Right.
Books and props. What we do is, maybe a book before sleep time,
Yeah.
add props into them. And she was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, make puppets. What book does your child like to read?
Yeah.
Do a little something, make some noises, like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Make it
something like that.
exciting, make it more
fun,
stimulating. Yeah,
Make it
yeah,
fun. Yeah, not just read books. This boy
Use
went to the
voices.
mark,
Yeah.
use voices. And she tried it.
yeah.
And I kid you not, he's out of screen time.
Really?
It's been 7 months now.
Oh wow.
Even at school.
That's a
when we
great
try
advice,
To,
yeah.
write on the, screen on the boards. He's like, oh, can we read instead? And I'm just like, oh, absolutely yes. And the fact that we animated so much in school,
Right.
we just like, we jump up, sometimes we
Right.
hurt ourselves. I have enough bruises. My mom is concerned.
Aw.
The amount of, deep heat I have to
Yeah.
help with that. But, anything for the kids, anything to make them happy. And
Aw.
we try to encourage parents, read
Yeah.
books at home. And a lot of the parents do, but add props, little puppets, little finger puppets. That actually
Make it
helps.
exciting.
Make it
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
builds their imagination.
Yeah.
Whereas even when they're sleeping, when they're dreaming, they can actually bring that story into life for them.
Yeah.
Kids see everything differently.
They
and
do.
it's just how we guide them through it, to be honest. But yeah, we kind of really need to research about 6-7 to
We
be
need
honest.
to. We need to. Yeah.
It's,
Just so I don't feel so old, I know.
but yeah.
So let's look back at our conversations today, talking about kids, what to do about the boredom and screen time and everything, and how we can actually bring it into this holiday season, what we
Yeah.
can do with the kids. Also, I think it's important. It's a family time.
Yeah, time to bond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as a family, how can you, as bring your kids together, mom and dad, grandpas, everyone, and forget about screen time? What can we do? What can the kids do? The parents do? Sorry, I don't know why I'm
You make it as a question now. It's a take.
I actually think you phrased it really well. Like I really liked it. Yeah, I really liked it. And I wanted to say that for myself, I ask myself that every time because I know with holidays comes my fear of overusing our screen time. Okay, I have a real fear about that, and for myself as well, not just for my kids, because it's just easy. It's easy to kind of shut off.
Yeah.
So what I have done this year, and I will tell you later if it worked or not, I gave everybody sticky notes because I love sticky notes too. So I gave all my kids, all three of them, a bunch of sticky notes. They have written everything they want to do on those sticky notes, and they have put it up on their walls. And then my job is to make all of those things happen.
Yeah.
And so like my daughter has like over 25 of them. She wants like a mother-daughter day, she wants a spa day, she wants this, she wants that. And she they all just want to spend time.
Yeah.
Doing things with me, with my husband. They just want one-on-one time.
Yeah.
And you can see from there's a pattern that what they want from us.
Yeah.
So I think that's one way of going about it.
Yeah.
And you involve the grandparents, the families, and everybody.
Yeah.
So somehow you can make it work.
Yeah.
It just requires a lot of effort, but it can happen.
So basically, with the takeaways that we have actually discussed earlier, is bonding.
Yes.
It's
important.
Decrease in screen time.
Yeah.
How do we shuffle with boredom? What do we do with boredom? Spending time with
Right.
family,
Right.
even without family. Sometimes spending time with yourself.
Yeah.
As women, we love to do our nails. We love our nail
do.
polish. Kids love that too.
Yeah.
Hey, I know my girls in class love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know the boys love their superheroes.
Right.
Sometimes playing with themselves, with their, action figures, coloring by themselves helps with that too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And other things that we have, learned through this conversation, which I absolutely loved, by the way.
Oh, same.
You're
Likewise.
amazing.
Likewise.
What more do you think we have added for the parents to, take with them so as they can actually put it into work in this holiday, and then they can come back and be like, hey, we tried it and it worked, or we can get, you know what, we tried, but we're in the Christmas spirit, so it didn't work.
It's just about building memories together.
Yeah.
So that the kids can actually go back to school and actually remember and look back to what you as parents did together.
Yeah.
I think that is the most important.
Yeah. This
And
is
they can actually go back to school and also forget about screen time.
Yeah.
Come, mom or dad, let's go and do this.
Yeah.
This and that.
Or you know
Let's come
what?
Together.
Yeah.
Maybe during the holiday, build a puzzle around the table.
And forget about the puzzle part. It's what you said. It actually is really deep. The togetherness.
Yes.
That's deep.
Yeah.
We drift apart as people.
Right.
And that is what we need to really hold on.
Absolutely. Adults and children.
Yeah.
Like it's
With children, as adults too, we need to hold on to them. They're our future people. You know what I mean? How we are with them right now is actually going to reflect later on.
Yeah.
I mean, dads, help them change the oil in that car.
Absolutely.
They are home now. Let them hold that torch. Like, hey, can you move the torch here?
Yeah.
I can't see. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
Or as cooking with the kids at home in the kitchen.
It sounds very minute, but it's really not.
It's not. Hey, I learned how to change the tire with my dad over the holidays.
Yeah, there you go.
I broke my finger, but I learned. Now
I've still not done it.
Because of that bond. The bond that we had, and I didn't really need to sit there watch Tom and Jerry. Hey, throwback. Watch Tom and Jerry at home. I actually went outside, and I think that's what we need the parents to do.
Yeah.
Do something with your kids. Learn a new book. Learn a new tactic. Learn something that is actually going to help them later on.
Exactly.
And I love what you're doing with your kids.
Yeah.
Helping you in that kitchen. Never know.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I know.
Yeah.
But my kids know how to make eggs, so there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Breakfast in bed. Yep.
I think so. Get me a breakfast.
Better be a big spread.
Make sure if you bite a yolk, eggshell,
That's okay.
I'll
spit it out.
It's fine. Spit it out. Swallow it if you want to. It's fine. But encouragement is important too.
Yeah.
We got this.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And it's okay to make mistakes. And it's okay if they're bored because, they'll be looking forward to go back to school then.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
100% okay. We fail, but we learn.
Yeah,
That's how we learn. It's either a blessing or a lesson. That's what we say.
I love that. I love that.
Because I know you're probably going to be stressing like, oh, we have so much to do now. They're home. What do we do? The panic sets in. Just sleep longer if you have to. Let them sleep longer. Turn off that alarm.
Oh, I do.
It's a Friday.
Oh, I do.
It's holiday.
My Alexa's asleep.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Like, hey, Alexa, cancel that alarm. You know what I mean? Rest, really. Your body, your mind, it needs to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it helps with,
And even for them.
For them too.
Even for them. I think they have a lot of stimulation.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
Just screen or no screen, they have a lot of stimulation. So which is why I look forward to the holidays because it is not regimented anymore. And I think they need the non-regimented time as well. So they're not always going to be in school.
No.
They're they need to be able to improvise.
Exactly.
That's a skill, right? So
that is very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true. Rest it out. They're looking forward to the next cup to break. And hey, it's all natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll get better.
I think so.
Yeah. It gets better eventually. It gets better. It does get better. Yeah.
So I'm highly curious, and I'm always curious to know that when we come back out of holiday season, summer holidays, Christmas holidays, whatever, and my kids go back to school, I'm always wondering if the teachers can tell what my kids were up to and what the parents were up to during the holidays. So what's your experience like when the kids come back to you after holidays?
Well, they speak more.
Okay.
Well,
Very
yeah,
hyper,
they're very hyper. They're excited. That's how we know they've done things.
Too much
Yeah,
energy.
too much energy.
Like,
And
Okay.
the first few days, they're probably like, oh, nothing. Haven't done nothing. I didn't go anywhere. And the next thing you know, sometimes we see or we tend to observe through the experiences and conversations they have with their friends.
Right.
Like, oh, I went to Zanzibar.
Yeah.
You know, I drove in a new car. You know, and
right,
you're just like, oh, they actually did something because sometimes they're more confident talking with their friends,
Right.
and sometimes they love drawing about it. So what we do is a holiday, news.
Right.
So it's like draw what you guys did, color. Tell us what colors you saw,
Right.
and we have those kids who are just they're like, and we're just like, okay, I don't know, and we're just waiting to hear something, and then they will tell you about it a week later.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, or when we conversate, like, oh yeah, I had soda today. When I was at home at Christmas, I had soda, and I'm just like, oh, there you go, you did something.
Okay,
So they narrate their story their own way,
In their own way,
Yeah.
at their own time.
at their own
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't really
yeah.
force it out of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are comfortable actually telling you what they did
Okay.
because they want you to know.
Okay.
They want to rub it in your face.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, I went to the Maldives.
Yeah.
You didn't. It's just like, okay, thanks.
I can see that happening.
I was right here.
Like, I know one of my students, they're going to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one of our students going there.
So he's definitely going to come back with a lot of stories.
Yeah, snow.
Definitely. I know. He's
It's snowing crazy right now.
We had one of our kids, their parents kind of gave them like a heads up that they might be going to Brazil.
Oh,
might.
fun.
So it's like, do you know the Brazil flag has 3 colors? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's like, I'm going to Brazil.
This
I'm
is
just,
how we
why are you
told you.
talking
I
to me
love
like
that.
that? I want to go with you. You know what I mean?
I love
so
that.
we're looking forward to hearing those stories, really. So it's, different ways. Different
jealous.
ways. We do get jealous. It hurts.
I recommend Brazil. It was amazing.
Hey. Wow.
One of the
You're rubbing
best.
it on my
One of the
face.
best vacations. Brazil and Argentina. Do it together.
Wow.
It was the best. It was the best. Sorry, guys.
going on my bucket
You know
list.
what? It's fine. Adding fuel to my fire.
Yeah, it's
I will
hard.
go.
It's harder.
I will go.
I feel like it's harder to get to that part of the world for
Yeah.
me now. I don't see myself going to South America.
Yeah.
Like Africa just feels too far from Canada.
It is
But I'm glad we did it. It was
Which country? Go to South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, Cape Town. Lovely.
Go to New Zealand.
So that's. I just want to get there right now.
Much further. They're a day ahead of us, but hey. Yeah, no, we love to hear their stories.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
either
thank you.
draw it, they either say it, or they say it to their friends, and we just tend to catch a glimpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. Before we close, thank you so much, Mariam, for coming on to our podcast today, and
welcome.
answering our questions with such honesty. We loved
It was
having
my
you here
pleasure.
today.
It was completely my pleasure.
so
I love the conversation.
Please join us again.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we loved your responses. They were great.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on our very first episode. This podcast exists because parenting is real, beautiful, messy, and meaningful. And we want to walk that journey with you.
If you enjoyed this episode, follow or subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.
So from you as parents, we would love to know what topics we can share in the future. So please just leave us a comment on YouTube or any other social media page where you'll find us.
Don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, and comment on YouTube. Don't forget to share this episode with another parent. Until next time, keep blooming!